Meet Sarah, 28 years old, makes $67,000 a year. Not rich, but not struggling either. 6 months ago, Sarah decided she was finally going to get serious about money. She downloaded the budgeting app. She canceled 2 streaming services. She meal prepped on Sundays like some kind of Instagram wellness influencer who actually follows through. She stopped buying coffee outside. She tracked every single purchase for 30 days like a financial FBI agent, investigating her own checking account. She went to bed every night that month with a quiet, satisfied feeling of someone who was finally handling their life. She was doing everything right. She knew she was doing everything right. And at the end of month 1, she opened her savings account and looked at the number. $160. Not $1,600. Not $600. $160. After a full month of discipline, sacrifice, and saying no to things she actually wanted, she had managed to move $160 into savings. Then her car registration came due, and she moved it right back out. Sarah doesn't have a spending problem. Sarah doesn't have a discipline problem. Sarah has the same problem as roughly 57% of Americans who say they couldn't cover a $1,000 emergency from savings alone. A number that has barely moved in a decade despite the explosion of budgeting apps, financial podcasts, personal finance bestsellers, and influencers telling everyone to cut out avocado toast. Here's what nobody in that industry wants to admit. Almost every piece of saving advice ever written is aimed at the wrong target. It's treating a systems problem like a character flaw. And until you understand that distinction, you are going to keep doing exactly what Sarah did, working hard at the wrong lever and wondering why nothing moves. My name is Nick, and I've spent an uncomfortable amount of time figuring out why smart, hardworking people follow all the right advice and still end up exactly where they started. If you've ever felt like saving money should be simpler than it apparently is for you, hit subscribe because by the end of this video, you'll understand something that most financial gurus never tell you. The reason you can't save isn't hiding in your budget. It's hiding in the architecture of the system built around you. And once you see it, you genuinely cannot unsee it. You've heard it 1,000 times. Saving money is simple. Spend less than you earn. The gap between those two numbers is your savings rate. If you're not saving, you're spending too much. And if you're spending too much, that's a discipline problem, a willpower problem. At the far end of the logic, a character problem. This story is clean. It's satisfying. It fits on a motivational poster. And it is spectacularly wrong. Not because the math is incorrect, but because it treats a deeply human psychological problem like a spreadsheet error that just needs to be corrected by trying harder. For roughly 99% of human history, resources were immediate and physical. You caught food and ate it the same day. You found shelter and used it that night. The concept of storing abstract value in a number on a screen and choosing not to convert it into something real, something you could see, touch, taste, or experience, would have been genuinely alien to every human who came before about 1970. The entire architecture of your decision-making was built around a single rule that kept your ancestors alive. Resources available right now are worth more than resources available in the future, because the future was legitimately uncertain. You might not be here for it. Psychologists have a name for this: hyperbolic discounting. It means your brain dramatically and irrationally overvalues things in the present compared to equivalent things in the future. Researchers have consistently shown that people will choose $50 today over $100 in a year. That's a 100% guaranteed return on a 12-month investment, something professional investors would consider the trade of the decade. And most people pass on it because today feels real and a year from now feels like a story about a future person. This isn't stupidity. This is factory settings. This is the same evolutionary wiring that kept your ancestors alive when winters were real and uncertainty was fatal. The problem is your ancestors weren't trying to build a Roth IRA. They were trying to survive until spring. And your brain, magnificent as it is, did not get the memo that winter is mostly a season now and not an existential threat. So before you blame yourself for being unable to leave money in a savings account with the same ease that other people seem to manage it, the subscription economy is the clearest and most quantifiable example. In 2022, the average American household was paying for 4.2 subscriptions. By 2024, that number had climbed to nearly 6. And the entire model is engineered around one specific psychological quirk. Paying for something repeatedly hurts less when the individual charge is small enough to fall below your mental radar. Your brain runs a mental accounting system. Large purchases register as real decisions that require deliberate thought. Recurring small charges get filed under background noise, in the same mental folder as your electricity bill and your phone plan, things you technically pay but don't actively think about. $12 a month doesn't feel like spending. It feels like nothing, until you add up 6 of them and discover you're paying $72 a month for services, 2 of which you haven't opened since last spring. And the company built its entire business model around the statistical certainty that you would keep not noticing. Netflix, Spotify, the cloud storage tier you upgraded during a busy week and forgot about. The app you downloaded on a free trial in 2021 and never canceled. According to a 2022 survey by C+R Research, the average household leaks somewhere between $200 and $300 per month through subscriptions. And critically, 42% of people in that same survey could not accurately name all the subscriptions they were actively paying for. And here's the part that should make you slightly angry. These companies don't accidentally make cancellation difficult to find. They design it that way with considerable intentionality. The cancel button is never on the homepage. It is 3 menus deep behind a retention screen asking if you want to pause instead, next to a special offer designed to make you reconsider. That is not a coincidence. That is behavioral architecture deployed at scale. But subscriptions are just one floor of this building. Let's go up. The next force working quietly against your savings account is social comparison. And in 2024, it operates at a scale that would have been genuinely unimaginable to any previous generation in human history. There's a behavioral phenomenon called the Diderot effect, named after the French philosopher Denis Diderot. In the 1700s, Diderot received a beautiful new scarlet robe as a gift. The robe was so elegant that suddenly everything around it looked shabby by comparison. So he replaced his old desk to match it. Then his chair looked wrong, so he replaced that too. Then the artwork. Then the rugs. He wrote about this spiral himself. One acquisition creates a sense of incompleteness that pulls you toward another acquisition and another, until your entire environment has been upgraded to match the first thing that started it. Diderot had one neighbor and occasionally visited the market. You have Instagram. You have TikTok. You have a curated, algorithmically optimized, infinitely scrolling feed of other people's lives where everyone appears to have already upgraded everything. The kitchen renovation, the new car, the vacation that looked like a film set, the wardrobe that looks like it belongs in a magazine. And the algorithm is not showing you this content accidentally. It is showing you this content because exposure to aspirational consumption has been repeatedly and measurably proven to increase purchase intent. Your social media feed is a Diderot effect machine running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, engineered by some of the most sophisticated behavioral scientists on the planet. Research published in the Journal of Consumer Research found that exposure to images of luxury goods reduces savings behavior, even when people report no intention to buy those specific goods. Just seeing them shifts your internal reference point for what normal looks like. What felt like enough yesterday starts to feel like less today. Your income didn't change. Your savings goal didn't change. But the invisible bar you're measuring yourself against keeps rising. And you don't even notice it happening, because it happens gradually, one scroll at a time. And here's the mechanism that makes this so hard to fight. It's not that you open Instagram and consciously think, I should go buy that. It's that you spend 25 minutes on Instagram and then you open your fridge and feel vaguely dissatisfied, and then you find yourself on Amazon, and then you close it, and then you open it again an hour later, and then a package arrives 3 days later and you only half remember ordering it. The purchase happens 3 steps removed from the content that triggered the feeling. It feels entirely like your own autonomous decision. It was, to a significant degree, engineered. 3 forces in. One more before we talk about the actual fix, because this one is the most structurally embedded and the least discussed. It's called friction asymmetry. And it might be the single most powerful weapon in the arsenal of every business that profits from your spending behavior. Here is the concept. Friction is any small obstacle or extra step that slows down a decision. Adding friction to a behavior reliably makes it happen less frequently. Removing friction reliably makes it happen more. This is not controversial. It is one of the most replicated findings in behavioral economics, and every major consumer company on Earth applies it aggressively. Here is the asymmetry. The modern consumer economy has spent extraordinary resources, billions of dollars, the careers of entire engineering and psychology teams, removing every molecule of friction from spending. and has done nearly nothing to remove friction from saving. Buying something on Amazon takes approximately 11 seconds with one click checkout. Your card is saved. Your address is saved. There is no pause screen. There is no "Are you sure?" There is a button that says "Buy now" in a color that was tested against 40 other colors for maximum conversion. And the package arrives tomorrow before your buyer's remorse has time to develop a coherent argument. Meanwhile, setting up an automatic transfer to a savings account requires logging into your bank's website or app, navigating to the transfer section, entering a dollar amount, selecting source and destination accounts, possibly confirming routing numbers, waiting for micro deposits to verify if it's a new account, and finally scheduling the recurring date. On a good day with a fast connection, that's 8 to 10 minutes. On a mobile browser with your bank's login system, add another 5 minutes and at least one password reset request. Spending 11 seconds. Saving 15 minutes on a good day. Your bank does not particularly want you to move money out of your checking account either. The float, meaning the money sitting idle in low-interest checking accounts, is enormously profitable for them. The friction is not accidental, it is structural. When Sarah couldn't save anything meaningful despite genuinely trying, she wasn't failing at discipline. She was operating in an environment that was architecturally optimized for one behavior and architecturally hostile to the opposite one. She showed up with a good attitude and a solid plan to a game that was tilted before she sat down. That's not a character flaw. That's an information problem. She didn't know the table was tilted. Quick, honest pause here. Think about the last time you genuinely tried to save more money. What actually stopped you? Was it that you didn't care enough? Was it that you lacked motivation? Or was it that at every decision point, the path of least resistance pointed somewhere other than your savings account? Sit with that for a second. It changes what the solution looks like. Because here's the wrong lesson from everything I just said. The wrong lesson is, the system is rigged, so nothing I do matters. That is not what this means. What it means is that discipline applied to the wrong lever accomplishes nothing. And the right lever is not your willpower. It is your environment. Change the environment and the behavior follows automatically. That is the entire game. Apply your discipline once to set the system up correctly, and then let the system run instead of fighting yourself every single day. The fix is not more effort, it is better architecture. First, make saving happen before your brain gets involved. The single highest leverage move in personal finance is an automatic transfer that fires on payday. Not the day after, not when you remember, not when you have a chance to look at your balance first. The same day the paycheck lands. The mechanics are simple. You set up a standing automatic transfer so that a fixed amount moves from checking to savings before it ever registers in your spendable balance. Out of sight, out of the mental accounting system completely. Research from the National Bureau of Economic Research found that automatic enrollment in savings programs, where saving is the default and opting out requires action, increases participation rates by as much as 40 percentage points compared to programs where you have to opt in. The content of the program didn't change, the direction of the friction changed. Suddenly, saving was the path of least resistance, and inertia worked in your favor for once. The number doesn't need to be dramatic to start. Even $75 a paycheck is $1,950 a year. The goal of the first automatic transfer isn't to fund your retirement in a decade. It's to prove to yourself that money can leave your checking account on a schedule and not cause a crisis. That proof is more valuable than the amount because it rewires your mental model of what's possible. Second, run the subscription audit. But do it once, do it completely, and do it now while you're in the right frame of mind. Not this weekend, not next week. Pull up your last 2 bank and credit card statements. Highlight every charge that recurs. For each one, answer exactly one question honestly. If this subscription disappeared from my life tomorrow, would I go immediately re-sign up for it? If the answer is no, cancel it today. The average person who does this exercise thoroughly finds $80 to $150 a month in charges they were paying for things they genuinely don't value. That's $960 to $1,800 a year that was leaving silently, automatically, in amounts too small to feel individually. Third, add friction to spending deliberately. This sounds counterintuitive after everything I just said, but it is one of the most effective things you can do. Remove saved payment methods from your most frequently used shopping sites. Delete the Amazon app and use the website instead. It's slower, slightly clunkier, and that small amount of friction is doing real work. Put a 24-hour rule on any non-essential purchase over $50. Not because you can't buy it, because the research consistently shows that roughly 80% of discretionary purchase impulses dissolve within 24 hours when they're not immediately acted on. You're not restricting yourself. You're reinstating the friction that billion-dollar engineering teams spent years quietly removing. Fourth, name your savings account, not savings. Something specific and concrete. Emergency fund. First $10,000. Never going back to zero. Free. A study from the University of Chicago found that labeled savings goals produce meaningfully higher contribution rates and lower withdrawal rates than generic unlabeled accounts. Your brain treats name money differently. Name money has a designated purpose. Money with a designated purpose is psychologically harder to reallocate towards something impulsive. It sounds like a trivial change. The data says it isn't. Fifth, switch from tracking your budget to tracking your net worth. Budgets feel like a diet. Temporary, restrictive. Something you're either rigidly on or completely off with no middle ground. Net worth is a scoreboard. It is a single number that goes up or down and reflects your complete financial picture at a glance. When you track net worth monthly, a free spreadsheet takes 5 minutes. Saving stops feeling like sacrifice and starts feeling like adding points. Every dollar you redirect into savings is a point. Every debt payment is a point. The psychology of a scoreboard you're winning is entirely different from the psychology of a restriction you're enduring. Here's the reframe I want to leave you with, because I think it's the most genuinely useful thing in this video, and it's the thing Sarah needed to hear 6 months ago when she was staring at $160 and wondering what was wrong with her. Saving money in the modern economy is not the natural default state. It is not what passively happens when you are a financially responsible adult. It is an active, intentional act of going against the grain of a system that was specifically and expensively designed to prevent it. Every dollar you successfully move into savings and leave, there is a dollar that defeated the subscription renewal, the one-click checkout, the algorithmic feed, the social comparison engine, and the teams of behavioral scientists that companies pay enormous sums to stop you from doing exactly that. Sarah isn't undisciplined. Sarah is outnumbered. And the difference between Sarah reaching $10,000 saved and Sarah never getting there isn't a personality upgrade or a motivational breakthrough. It's knowing where the actual obstacles are and dealing with those instead of blaming herself for not being strong enough to ignore them. You don't need more willpower. You need better defaults. You need friction on the right side of the equation. Automation doing the work your motivation can't sustain, and a scoreboard you actually want to look at. Set the automation. Run the audit. Add the friction back. Name the account. Track the number. Do all 5 once, properly, and the system starts working for you instead of against you. I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing in this video is financial advice. It's just the explanation I genuinely wish someone had handed me years ago. Back when I thought my inability to save was a personal failing and not a predictable response to a rigged environment. It wasn't. And yours isn't either. If this shifted something for you, drop a comment below telling me the one thing you're going to do differently after watching this. I actually read them all, and if you want to understand what happens on the other side, what your life actually starts to feel like once you cross that first real savings threshold, I made a full video on exactly that, and it's right there on the screen. Go watch that one next. I'll see you in it.